Mute yourself, Kalyan. Kalyan, mute yourself. Right. So we can start again. This week toppling is also there, right? Toppling is there or not? Toppling is also there, I think.
Sir, there's a toppling.
Toppling is also. I can take some more questions on toppling. I have taken also before also, but again I can take because it is for this week.
Cover all, sir.
Let me start.
Sir, can you once open Gmail? Sir?
That question I will discuss after taking some of questions on my own. Maybe by the time I will be discussing my own questions, that doubt may automatically get clarified. That is also possible. So there are certain things which I can take myself first, right?
Okay, sir.
Screen share, sir.
Screen sharing is not done. Let me start. Okay. Wait a second. Started now. So, one question which they asked here is this, that if I will take in fact 3 questions together. I will take 3 questions together here in one go. All these are related to each other. Number 1 with this diagram. Let me take a rod of, this is a rod. Does it look like a rod to you? Okay, we are hitting it at a height h from
Sir? Sir?
Can you see now? Hello.
Sir.
Audible, sir.
Audible.
Audible now?
Yeah, audible, sir.
Audible and visual also screen? Visual, I think. I shared it.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to give these 2 questions here. This starting is same for both of these. Find h so that find h so that the body starts pure rolling on frictionless surface. This is first case. Pure rolling on frictionless surface. Means assume the surface to be frictionless only for this case, first case. Second case, no friction acts between M and ground. And it is not mentioned in second case that it is frictionless surface, but although it has friction, it is rough. But no friction should act. Even if surface is rough. That is the second case.
Sir,
Yes.
is it not a case of angular impulse?
It can be considered case of angular impulse. It can be considered case of torque. It can be considered case of anything. The thing is, with what you know, you can do it. Okay.
sir.
So means we don't have to use anything new for this. I don't even have to use angular impulse word here, so I can still do it by already what you know. So that's why I'm taking it. Okay. So don't worry about that. Angular impulse is, I think, for next week otherwise also, right or not? Is that for next week or not? Angular impulse.
Yes, sir. Angular impulse is
That is for next week. No need to worry about that, but we can do it. You can do it by what you already know, by that knowledge only. So I will give you a hint for this. How will you, then I think you should be able to do. Hint is, do you remember this question which I discussed some time back, that if I have a rod and I give it, apply a force F on it, then there's a point somewhere which acts as instantaneous center of rotation. What
The distance L by 6 or so.
that point is the point, that point is that point which does not develop any tendency to move.
Yes, sir. Axis of rotation.
It has tendency to remain at rest. It has tendency to remain at rest. Now I wanted to give something else, but I don't know how to give it. Let me take help of internet for that. I want to take a bat image of a bat. Bat hitting a ball will be better, I think so. Let us see if I can get some images. Yes, I have some images here. Can you see this, what I'm showing you here? Can you see the images here?
Yes,
Sir.
Yes, sir.
So for example, I have this, let us say, bat hitting the ball. You know that there is one, where we are hitting it. It depends on that how much force will be exerted. How much force will be exerted on the hand. See, this person, you notice this person here. What do you think? He will be feeling more force because of this ball hitting very close to his hand, or less force on his hand? Very much, yes, very large, very large.
Force,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
More,
More,
sir.
sir.
So he will be feeling a very, very large force. But on the other hand, if the cricket men, those who want to give a really large, means they want to hit for a sixer, but they sometimes hit it in such a way that they will not even feel much force. It will be smoothly going. Means they will
Edge,
not,
sir.
Edge or center.
not completely edge. That is again mistake if you
No,
are thinking
yes,
completely edge.
sir.
There is some other
Not
point.
completely edge, sir.
somewhat is.
Not completely edge. Some in between, some point is there.
Yes,
So how
sir.
to tell which point that will be? How to tell that point? I think it is enough now,
Yes, sir.
and you have understood what I wanted to say.
Enough, sir.
In
So what is
cricket,
that? Which point where that should be? I want to find exactly that location, exact location. So to find what happened here. Okay. I want to find the exact location. So to be able to get that exact location, I will do it like this, maybe. Wait a second, let me make a bat here. So This is like a bat. Let it be a bat. Okay, and that is being hit. That is hitting a ball here. Now, if somebody is holding it, this bat from here, then okay, for a one particular place location, he will have to apply less force. On his hand, he will not feel any force. On his hand, he will not feel any force. The reason is again something related to what I discussed before in the previous cases. This case number 1 and 2 are related to each other, and that case also related. Which case I told before that there is a point. In that case, let me draw the diagram for that case also again. I was discussing that this is a rod, and if I apply a force F1 at a distance from center of mass at a distance R1, then we have a somewhere at a distance R2 away from the other, on the other side, we have a point here which does not develop tendency to move, or which acceleration of the point will be 0 at that instant when we are applying force F1 here. So this P we found out before. I told you how to find it out. I have given you a way to find out. If you don't remember, I found that way by finding
Sir, R1 R2 is equals to K square.
tau P upon IP I wrote as tau CM upon ICM, and by that we got that answer. ICM I wrote as M K square KCM square, because radius of gyration about center of mass. Sorry,
Equal to KCM square.
tau CM will be F1 into R1. F1 into R1 upon M into K, radius of gyration about center of mass. And here F1 into R1 plus R2 divided by M into KCM square plus R2 square. This alpha angular acceleration we can find by this formula or by this formula also, if P is the instantaneous center of rotation, and P will be instantaneous center of rotation if acceleration of point P is 0. So by this I think I proved something that let us prove it now again, just to be 100% sure that you are understanding. R1 1 plus R2 by R1 is equal to, we get 1 plus R2 by KCM square, I think, and then we can
equal to KCM square we get, sir.
When we get R1 R2 is equal to KCM square. Right. This we got. So from here we can get R2. If I know where we are applying force at R1 distance away, then we can get that R2. And I told you before at that time that this may not be single force. It may be resultant of several forces, but I am just taking the line of action of the resultant force. Yes, you understand? Means there can be many forces acting, but I have to take line of action of force will always be one. And I have told you how to determine the line of action of force. So imagine that it is not a single force, maybe it was a line of action of force. But in the cases where we already apply just single force only, for example, here we are applying one force here at the hand and the other force here. But I want this force, this is impulsive force here, by the ball on the bat will be impulsive, very large force. But this impulse should not have any impulse. This hand should not feel any impulse because of this impulse here. So that hand will not be feeling any impulse if hand is acting like a instantaneous center of rotation. Think like that. It should be acting like instantaneous center of rotation. Then hand will not feel any impulse. Means for hand, I can use the same kind of relation that F1 is applied at this end, and this is at, from center of mass, it is at a certain distance R1, then at a distance R2, I should be holding the bat, or I cannot change the place where I will be holding the bat. That will be at a fixed distance R1. Then I can change the other one. I can make the ball hit in such a location so that hand will feel no impact. Similarly here, this point I want to be having no tendency to move forward. See, I told you that because of this, the torque is acting about center of mass, which is trying to rotate it in which direction? Clockwise or not? This is applying some force here. This rod hitting the spherical body or circular body. So it is trying to move in clockwise direction. Then R omega will be backwards, but velocity will be forward, velocity of center of mass. So as a result, it has two opposing tendencies. Tendency to move forward as well as backward. The bottommost point can move in any direction depending upon which is greater. If R omega is greater than VCM, then it will be going backwards. On the other hand, if VCM is greater than R omega, then it will be going forward. If it develops tendency to move forward overall, if it develops overall tendency to move forward after subtracting R omega also, then the friction on it should be acting backwards. But if two tendencies, the tendency of translatory motion and tendency of rotational motion, just exactly balance each other, then this
Then
point
pure
will be
rolling.
remaining at, then it is ICR. Again, it is like instantaneous center of rotation, and it will be a
Yes, sir.
pure
Yes,
rolling.
sir.
And it doesn't even matter whether now surface is rough or it is frictionless. It
Or
doesn't even
smooth.
matter. In both cases, it will be attaining pure rolling. Even in friction, there is one important point. Some students will think that if it is a frictionless surface, then sliding will definitely be there. Some students think that sliding will definitely be there if it is a frictionless surface. But not true. There may be cases when it is a frictionless surface, but if we hit it exactly in the right location, then even on a frictionless horizontal surface, I can make the body attain pure rolling. Can you hear it? Listen it again once again. Even on a perfectly frictionless surface, but it should be horizontal, by the way. Even on a perfectly frictionless horizontal surface, if I hit it in a right location, then I can make the body attain pure rolling. Means this point will be tending to not to slip with respect to the ground. This point will not develop any tendency to slip with respect to the ground. That is also achievable by the same equation again. This H is like R1. This center of mass from here is R distance away. That is like R2. So again, I can go for the same relation. R1 into R2 is equal to, as we saw, KCM square. And I told you, I think that I used to write this ICM as eta into MR square mostly.
Yes, sir.
If I do that, then we can get K effective K. What is effective K coming out to be from here?
Root over n.
Can we get effective K?
Root
Effective
n.
K is root of KCM square. KCM square only is better. That is equal to eta into R square. Then I can put here. I can put eta into R square is equal to H into R. So what is H coming out to be?
Eta R.
Eta.
Eta.
Yes.
Then we should hit it at in which location? We should hit it in this location given by eta. If we hit it in this location, then no problem for us. This body will be
Pure roll.
This body will be pure rolling. I hope you got this so far. And
Yes,
how
sir.
these things are, all these things are related to each other. See how these things are wonderfully related to each other. These appear to be different questions. One question, second question, the third one, but all are same only. They are same.
R1 R2 equals to KCM.
And in fact, one also has two parts. This one also I gave like two parts here. 1A, 1B, we can say. 1A, 1B, but all are related to each other. All can be tackled in the same way. So where we want to hit the ball so that the hand feels very less impact, that can be answered in exactly same manner. We can answer all these questions. One more question appeared like this in IIT, and it was something related to this only. They had given a door. You know that a door has a door stopper. Do you know that or not? What is meaning of door stopper? First of all, do you understand that or not?
Something.
Upward it will be.
Door stopper is there is a knob on the door. I don't know if in my doors there or not. I think it will be there in my bathroom door if I show you. Let me show you that. Let me see if I can show you. Wait a second. Okay, so you can see, and I have to remove the virtual background. I have to remove. Right. Let me show you once. See this thing right here. Can you see it? This thing down in the door. Can you see it or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That lag.
This thing is what I am talking about, right? I am talking about this thing only. So this door stopper we can put in such a location so that when we let us say we are shutting down the door and this door stopper will be hitting against the wall. So if it hits against the wall, then what may happen if it is not in a right location? Then as it hits against the wall, there will be a sudden impact force acting on. There will be a sudden impact force acting on the hinges. You know what is meaning of hinges? What is meaning of
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then door is.
Though that hinges can become loose, and the door can means hinges can just break. The door can break from the hinges, right?
Yes, sir.
Door
We
will
don't want
fall.
that to happen. Let us say this is the door here. And there are hinges here. One hinge, another hinge here, and somewhere below we have that door stopper thing. This is the door, and here we have that door stopper. Now, when we suddenly open this door or shut this door, whatever, in one, I think shutting the door, sorry, opening the door, I think. When we open this door, then there may be a wall. This door may be opened like this here. Let's say this was the door here, right? And there's a wall here besides it. So then what may happen? This door stopper will strike against the wall. As it strikes against the wall, there is a certain force acting on it here. And that force should be acting at such a distance from the center of mass. From the line of center of mass, it should be at such a distance that at R2 distance away, that point should be acting like instantaneous center of rotation. The point which is R2 distance away, those should be acting like instantaneous center of rotation. So there will be less impact force felt by the hinges. As a result, hinges will not be torn apart. Those will not be breaking. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So these all are means related problems only. Okay. So once we have okay, now you have, I think, understood it enough, and you can apply it in the problems also. Then let me take some that cycloid thing. What is cycloid? That all you want to explain here now. What is meaning of cycloid? If I take a disk which is rolling on a horizontal surface, and a point on the disk, will be following some, if it is pure rolling, by the way, if it is pure rolling, then the point on the disk will be following exactly what distance will cover. This is point, let's say, at the bottommost point P. So this P point will reach again at the bottom only after this center covers the distance of 2 pi r. You understand that or not? When it covers the distance of 2 pi r,
Yes, sir.
then this will again, and this bottommost point will again come at the bottom only. It will come again here. But what kind of path it followed in between? Did it go up? Yes, it will be going up also in between. There will be a position when it will be covering a distance of pi r. When it will be covering just a distance of pi r, then that P point will be in which location? That P point in that case will be in the topmost position. Right or not? So pi r is greater or 2r is greater?
Pi r, sir.
And I think my diagram is not correct actually. I should give a little more space here. Diagram was not correct here. Wait a second. Now it will be. It's not that easy to make the right diagram. Okay, I'm trying to do it. Let us say this is equivalent to pi r is 3 point something, right?
Yes, sir. 3.14.
There will be some space also in between. Means it will be sufficient space in between. Let me give the space a little more adequate space. Somewhere here, somewhere here it will be reaching. This much is or maybe a little more than that also, in fact. Okay, I think you should not go for this exact diagram. Means it is not up to the scale, thing like that. But just understand the logic, what is happening here. This diagram I may not be able to make that much exact. Okay, let us say this is a space. Seems like 3.14 only. Now from here to up to the center here. What distance it has covered already? Pi r. Extra distance from here to here again, pi r. This P point is now, which was starting from the bottom, now it has reached up to the top, and then it again reaches the bottom here. So it went from here to here and then back again. Something like this kind of path it will be following. This path is called as cycloid, which it follows. What distance does it cover? If you want to find exact distance, this is a problem actually, then let me give you a very simple tip.
The same problem, sir.
2r, it is pi r. Can we use Pythagoras theorem to find out the direct distance between them? I'm giving you a quick tip to get the answer very fast. Obviously, it is not right way. I will tell you the right way also. But if you want to get answer very fast, then do one thing. Do this way approximately and find it. And whatever is the closest integer, little greater than this, obviously, because red color is the lesser path and this path along the black curve is more. So little greater than this, whatever integer you are getting, that integer will be our answer for the path covered from P to P1 location to P2 location to P3, P1 to P2 location, right? So what is that P1, P2 path coming out to be? Let us see once it is coming out to be. Pi square is nearly pi square.
Greater than 9, sir.
9.8. So 9.8 plus 2, 10 plus 2, 12. Root of 12. Root of 12 will be equal to?
No, sir, that
I
is
think-
2r whole square, 4r square.
Sir, we can say 4R, sir.
Why are you saying 2 pi r? It is pi r from here to here. I am taking this.
Let 2r not. That is 2r whole square, no, sir, 4r square. So root of
Oh, yes,
14r.
sorry. 4. Yes, that is correct. 4 plus 10, 14. Root of 14 I want. Root of 14 will be less than root 6. Root 14r. But similarly, what is this other distance, other side distance, this distance? Same way. So what is the total distance along the curve? Total distance along the curve will be
8r, sir.
8R.
8r. Exactly right. This is just a quick, means it is just a way to remember, because if it is difficult to find out otherwise, somewhat integration is involved. So if you want to do it fast, just by a trick, then you just go for the next integer. And it works here. So that is 8r only. It is correct.
Only
For
for-
this, if I want to go for the next integer. So it is
sir.
approximately 4. How to find out exactly?
Taking parabola along that point.
No, not a parabola. It is not even a parabola. We are naming it. We are calling it again and again. It is cycloid, and you are calling it parabola. Really? These are two different curves. Any curve which is curving downwards is not a parabola. I can give thousands of curves which are having this kind of graph, but those are not parabola. Let me start with some graphs. Minus of k raised to power k into x raised to power 2n. Will it have this shape or not? Where n is some integer.
Yes, sir.
Shape will be this, but does it mean all these are parabola? And could be 1, and could be 2, and could be 3, and could be 4, and could be any number. So it is not always parabola. So if it is downward shape, then it is not always parabola. Understand this thing. So any shape which is curving, sine curve also, cos curve, sine curve, those are also curving downwards in some places or not? Does it mean those are parabola? So it is just a cycloid only. And after this, how it will be? After this, again, it will be going up again. This is how it will be following the path. Before it, if it comes from somewhere, then it will be coming like this only. So this P point will be moving in this way, in this fashion. It is just cycloid, that's it. Don't give it any other name. Anyway, what is the equation of cycloid? I can tell that also, but okay, first of all, distance covered by the cycloid. Distance covered formula is speed times distance integration we want to do. So what is the speed of a point in general? I think you can tell what is the speed in general also.
2, sir.
How to tell in general? Let me give you a way to find out quickly. If you want to get in general, then first of all, imagine that from starting point here, we are moving in this way. Angular velocity is this side. So what angular distance it will cover in t time, omega t? Then what will be the velocity of this point P when it reaches here? I think this point's velocity will become velocity of P with respect to C, and velocity of C will be added in this. So can you add these two so that we can get the net speed? Net speed will be VPC square plus VC square plus 2 into VPC into VC into angle between these, if you are able to find. I know what is angle, although this is 90, and this little tiny angle here, small angle, 90 minus omega t. So I can get cos of 90 plus 90 minus omega t. That is the total V square here. I need V. If I need V, I can take its root. I need velocity of point, speed of point P. What is the speed of point P coming out to be now? We know VPC is R omega. And because it is pure rolling, for pure rolling, even VC will also be equal to R omega. Only for pure rolling on a horizontal ground, on a pure rolling on a ground, it will be VC is equal to R omega. You remember that why VC is equal to R omega for pure rolling? Because in pure rolling, this point right here can be assumed to be at instantaneously at rest. And if it is assumed to be instantaneously at rest, then we can get this way also we can get the speed. By the way, I'm doing this time by another method. I can find by taking this point as instantaneous center of rotation P dash, and then I can find the velocity of P point by knowing this distance here. What is the distance from P to P dash? We can tell easily it is R. This angle is omega t. So I think this distance from P to P dash will be equal to
R omega t.
not R omega t. Why are you saying R omega t? What is this boy doing? 90 degree, omega t by 2, omega t by 2. So I think I can say R omega into sine omega t by, sorry, not R omega, 2R into sine omega t by 2.
2R
That is
into
the
sine
distance.
omega t by 2.
And this distance multiplied by omega. That will be the speed. So I can bet you that this will come out to be same. You want to check it, you check it by this, putting the values here, VC and VPC. But I'm sure already that it will come out to be this, which is equal to 2R sine omega t by 2. You understand why it is sine omega t by 2? See this, I'm making this diagram again. Maybe it is P dash, bottommost point, which is at this instant of time, the center of rotation, and this will be omega t by 2. This half also will be omega t by 2. This is R, 90 degree. So you know why I'm writing this distance, this P to P distance is R, small r, let us say. So this is that small r value into omega, that is VP, and it is easy to integrate it seems. Is it not? Let me check once. 2R into omega is constant here, omega constant. We are left with sine omega t by 2 into dt integral, limits of integration. I have to cover complete circle, so I have to go from 0 to pi, or I can do one thing. I can find out up to pi angle, then it will be double of that. That also can be done, right? 0 to pi, and then we'll take 2 times. We can do that also. 0 to pi if I take, then I will have to take 2 times then that. Sorry, what I did here? Yes, I did right only. Nothing is wrong. Then I have to take VP into dt integral. That I'm doing now here, multiplying by dt and integrating it to find out the distance covered by the particle. So what is that distance coming out to be? 2R omega. Wait a second, 2 pi. Let me type 2 pi only. Then 2R omega will be sine omega t has integration cos of omega t by 2
minus omega t by 2 by omega by 2
by omega by 2 by omega by 2. Then it becomes, I think, 4
R into
R into limits 0 to 2 pi. If I do here, what do I get then? I will be getting cos of pi minus cos of 0. That will become 2, I think.
no sir, 0 we are getting.
Not 0. By 2 is also there, no? Cos pi.
Yes sir, yes sir.
8R. We are getting 8. Are we getting 0? Let me check once again. Is it coming out to be 0?
No sir.
Not 0, I think. 2 only.
Not zeros.
Then correct. Then VP is sorry. What I did here? It is not VP now. It is no more VP. VP was up to this. After this, it is a distance. So distance covered in one full turn by any point, or not any point, by any point which is on the circumference. This is just for the point on the circumference. If point is not on the circumference, where will be the difference? Let us say point is at a distance smaller from the circumference. Then as you know that I have left to write VPC is not equal to capital R omega in that case, then it will become small r omega, and then answer will be obviously different. That will be dependent on small r value also. That we can probably find out or not. I don't know. Maybe it is tough. I don't know whether we can integrate or not. But if we can integrate, then method will remain same only. If integration is easy. So this is what we get. And if this 8R is, I think sometimes we need it. So it is better that we, or if you, I told you, if you forget it, that what was that, you don't remember and you don't have time to derive it again, although it will not take that much time to derive. See how quick it was to derive from here to here in one step. From here to here in one step, or maybe 2 steps. In 2 steps, we are getting the answer quickly. So it is not that difficult to derive, but it is much easier to arrive at this by this way also. Okay. Anyway, what about the radius of curvature of any point? Let us, this radius of curvature thing is also difficult for some students and they commit mistake in this. Let me give you some point for which I want to find radius of curvature. Again, pure rolling I'm taking. Pure rolling. And I am asking you to find radius of curvature of a point which is at a distance smaller from the center. Okay. Where is it located? Different places maybe there. Can you see now?
Yes, sir. No, it's audible.
So whenever it happens, know that you are not able to hear something suddenly, then you can let me know quickly. I can maybe some problem is here sometimes. So can you see the screen now?
No, sir.
Oh, sir, some black is.
The black screen, sir.
Black screen only.
The screen is black.
But you can hear me, huh?
Yes, sir, I can.
Now you can see the screen. Check once maybe. Now it will take some time.
Not him.
No, sir.
Even now also not there.
Black always, sir. It's not showing even sharing screen.
It is showing that I am sharing the screen.
No, sir, it's not showing.
Wait, then let me do it again.
Yes,
What
sir.
about now?
Yes.
Started
Now
now.
open.
Okay, sir.
So see this once, and now this is a question here that I wanted to ask. You have to find the radius of curvature in these two cases. These two cases are already drawn here. What is the formula for radius of curvature? If you remember, we have done radius of curvature before many times. Exactly, if I say, then I have done in circular motion chapter, in projectile motion chapter, in the river boat problems also we have done it.
Yes, sir.
So just now you use that all those concepts and try to find out the radius of curvature in these two cases. Of which point? Of point A. Of A point. Of B point here. Formula is, what is the formula for radius of curvature? Radius of curvature formula
AC.
V square by A perpendicular.
Yes, sir.
So let us use it. Let us use it to find out. Let us call it R A, and let me call that one ROC here as RB is equal to V B square upon AB perpendicular. V A square upon A perpendicular to A. Perpendicular means perpendicular to VA. So this point is here, the center of rotation here, and this is having speed as small r plus capital R into omega. Then I can write it as small r plus capital R into omega whole square divided by acceleration of A in perpendicular direction will be what? I think we can write acceleration of A in perpendicular direction by A with respect to C plus AC. That will be easiest way to do. Omega is constant. Omega is constant. So angular acceleration will be 0. And we know center is moving in what kind of path center is moving? Is it moving in any curvilinear path or in a straight line path?
Straight line.
Center is moving in a straight line path.
Yes.
For a body which is moving in a straight line path, can it have any acceleration in perpendicular to its direction? Can it have any acceleration?
No.
No. So then AC perpendicular will be here having no component, I think, 0 component only. Perpendicular to what we want to take, by the way. When we are deciding here perpendicular, this is meaning perpendicular to velocity. What is the direction of velocity? Horizontal. So perpendicular to that will be vertical. So in vertical direction, acceleration of C in perpendicular direction is 0. What is acceleration of A relative to C? Acceleration of A relative to C is easy to tell because it is moving in a circular path relative to C. Right or not?
Yes, sir.
So in the circular path, what will be the acceleration of A then? Acceleration of A then will become omega square into small r. What is the answer then at last for radius of curvature? I am getting it as R plus R whole square divided by R. Is it right or not? Have you understood it?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, do the next one. That next one is slightly tougher than that. Reason is, if you start doing it, you will find the reason yourself. What is the reason? Think about it. Now, B velocity will be in VB will be in this direction, some different direction. So first of all, what is the value of BV? BV here, it is VBC, sorry, VBC, and VC has to be added in that. Or I can find by another way. What is the other way to find out? By P to B distance into omega. That is another way to find out. Another one way will be by taking vector sum of these two. So I can write VB as VBC square plus VC square plus 2 VBC plus into VC into cos theta under the root. Is it okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is one way of writing. And what is VBC here?
Small r.
As you VBC will be small r into omega. What is VC here? VC will be capital R into omega. Why VC is capital R into omega? Reason is relative to point P. Relative to point P, this point is at a distance r, and therefore velocity of C point will be r omega. But I can also find this total velocity by knowing this distance P to B distance, and I can say PB into omega. How to find PB? PB is not tough to find out. Why not? Because I know components of
Cosine
small
rule.
r.
Cosine rule.
I can use Pythagoras theorem here. I can say this triangle I can think. In this triangle, I can get the hypotenuse PB by knowing the perpendicular and base. So what is PB? I can write PB as
R plus R cos theta whole square plus
R
sin
small r cos theta plus capital R,
capital R whole square plus R sin theta whole square whole root.
which is plus 2 into small r into capital R into
Cos theta.
cos theta, I think, right or not?
Yes.
This is.
Sir, first,
After knowing PB, what we will do here, divide by AB perpendicular. Perpendicular to what now? Perpendicular to velocity of B point. But velocity of B point is in some different direction. How to take the perpendicular to that? That direction we should know, and then it will be we'll be able to find out. Now it is becoming slightly more complex. I'm thinking how to do now. Perpendicular distance we have to find. How to find out AB perpendicular? AB perpendicular will be along PB line. Let me take the PB line at least. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the direction of PB will be sir.
In the direction of PB it will be. So I have to take the component of acceleration in the direction of PB. And PB angle between PB and CB, I think, is not that complicated to find also.
180 minus that.
No, not that easy also. 180 minus theta, how is it? I want which angle? Are you understanding which angle I want here?
Okay.
I want X.
This angle, I want this angle. I know that C to P distances are, and I have found out PB distance already. And I know this angle here, pi
So
minus theta. I
by-
can use the sine rule to find out.
Yes,
Let
sir.
us call this
Sir,
angle as
again,
alpha.
you send rules surrogate. Yes, sir.
Then I can say PB divided by sine pi minus theta is equal to R
Sine a-
divided by
Sin alpha. PB is equals to
And this angle is, let us say something, it will be, although we can obtain it, it is equal to small r upon this angle here, right here. If you want to write it beta, let us write it beta, then r upon sine beta. Although I know that beta plus alpha plus pi minus theta will be pi, or beta plus alpha will be theta. So beta I could have written as just alpha minus theta. So I can write r upon
Theta,
sine
theta means alpha,
alpha.
sir.
Oh
Sir,
yes, you
theta
are right.
means
Sorry, theta minus alpha it is. So we can write r upon sine alpha is equal to small r upon sine theta minus alpha. Except alpha, we know everything. So this method also we can use, or this method we can use, means these two we can write here. I think which one is easier? Let me think. I think this one is only easier. Reason is here only sine alpha is separate. Here I have to again separate sine alpha and terms. So PB, and we already know PB already. PB was already obtained as this. So I will prefer this method only, this method. So I will write sine alpha quickly from here as, by using this, sine alpha will become r upon PB into sine pi minus theta will be sine theta, I think. Yes. Right or not?
Yes, sir.
So this method we will use. We can get by other way also, by the lower way also, but no need, I think. No need of this, no need of this. This is enough. Now, after getting alpha, what is our aim? Our aim is to find out component of acceleration of B point. Acceleration of B point we know will be centripetal acceleration, which will be towards C, and that will be equal to omega square into small r. So acceleration of B point with respect to C plus acceleration of C is total acceleration of B, which is equal to just acceleration of B with respect to C only, because it is 0. Because C is, again, as I told you before, if alpha is 0, omega is constant means alpha is 0. If alpha 0 means it has, and moreover, this center is moving in a straight line path. If center is moving in a straight line path, then it cannot have any
Here another
acceleration.
direction.
But it is other direction we're saying, right? I can only say that center does not have any acceleration in vertically downward direction, but I cannot say it does not have any acceleration in. No, center does not have any acceleration actually. Wait a second. Center does not have in vertical direction, and center does not have in horizontal direction also. How it does not have in horizontal direction?
It is moving
In
constant
horizontal
or not.
direction, acceleration of center in horizontal direction, tangential acceleration will be just r alpha. But here alpha is 0, so r alpha is also 0. So center has no acceleration at all, neither in vertical nor in horizontal direction. Acceleration of center is 0. If, in which case, if alpha was 0, in that case, the acceleration of center is 0 only. And if acceleration of center is 0, then we are left with just ABC, which is just equal to magnitude wise omega square r. Now I want ABC along PB. That is because AB perpendicular, which is equal to omega square r into cos alpha, which is equal to omega square r into 1 minus sine square alpha under the root, which is equal to omega square r into 1 minus, what was sine alpha I got before? R upon PB. R square upon PB
B
square
into sine square theta.
into sine square theta. Then PB square we write here, and then we get here, I think, what do we get? Now a little bit of calculation remaining. You do it yourself now. I'm just leaving it for you. AB, but sometimes I want to get up to the answer also, just to see that final answer is simplified or is it still complicated answer. Just to see that I want to go up to. I have curiosity.
It will be simplified, sir, here.
So just tell me what is the final answer after simplification.
get-
After all the simplification is done,
R
what is the
plus
last answer?
R sin theta, not R plus R cos theta whole square under root of
Capital R.
by PB square.
We're saying which R plus which R?
Here omega square into root over is there, no sir?
No, you tell me the finals. I don't want to hear anything before. I want to hear the final radius of curvature. You tell me, RB. What is the final value of RB? Get up to love.
It will be
Anyone getting?
Sir, PB by
Yes. PB, you are again telling me PB as PB only. Why so? Okay, no problem. Tell in terms of PB only. No problem.
PB by
PB
R
by
into smaller into
PB by small r into
small r plus capital R cos theta.
small r into means in the numerator or in the denominator?
Denominator, sir.
Wait a second. Small r into small r plus capital R.
Capital R cos theta.
That is it.
Yes, sir.
It is dimensionally incorrect. Left hand side distance, right hand side 1 upon distance. Check again. Somebody else by that time think about it. What is the answer? I think okay, I did this here. It is
Yes, yes, yes.
VB square. It should be squared here. VB square means
Yes,
PB
yes.
square into omega square.
Sir, in the before term, PB cube by we will get, sir, that whole thing.
Then it may be right. Now let us check once dimensionally it will become correct if I do that way. PB cube
By
divide
R
by
into R.
R into R plus R.
Small r plus capital R cos theta, sir.
Small r plus capital R cos theta. Now you can see whether it is correct or not. I don't know, but maybe it can be correct at least dimensionally. Now is it correct or not? That you know better than me. You have solved it. If it is correct, then somebody verify, please, at least. PB cube term is appearing, omega square is cancelling. So far it is right, R is also there. I have to check just one thing, and then I can see whether it is correct or not. R square plus capital R square plus R square cos square theta. R square plus capital R square cos square theta plus 2 small r into capital R cos theta.
Sir, getting
Yes. That only I am getting. Yes, right. That only we are getting. So correct it is. So final answer is okay, not that much complicated also. PB cubed. So it depends on the distance PB cubed upon small r into small r plus capital R cos theta, where theta is the angle made by small r with vertical. Right, that is answer at last. Okay. Now some cases in which they are saying that to complete the vertical circle cases, no, that in SCV also there are several cases like that. Let us take any at least some of those. if not all. This is a diagram. So, how to do if it is falling from h height and it has to complete the vertical circle? From what minimum height should it be dropped? If it has to just reach here, then in this place, while it reaches at the highest point, then centrifugal force, let's say it has radius smaller and it has capital R. First of all, it will be taking a turn of radius height. Also depends whether they are giving center to center or center to ground. If they are giving center to ground height as h, then potential energy loss will be mg capital H minus R, right?
Yes, sir.
But if I'm giving center to center height only h, that also may be given, depends on the wording of the question.
Right, MGH.
Or sometimes they are giving small ball. If they are giving small ball, then also it means that R is negligible as compared to capital H. So we can just we can ignore whether it is up to the bottom or up to the center, doesn't matter. Okay. So if I assume R to be less than R, then we have different case. But first I'm assuming not R to be less than R, and I'm trying to get the answer for this. Some students take this wrong idea here, that they think that when small r is very, very less as compared to capital R, then we will not take it rolling and we will just take it translating body. No, completely wrong. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Write yourself a warning that even if R is negligible, small r is negligible, it doesn't mean that no, I should not take it to be rolling. That we should never ever do. Never ever. Is it okay?
Sir, your voice is low.
Voice is low.
Now, okay, sir. Before.
Now fine, sir.
I said that we should never take this. You listened or not, I don't know. We should never take small r to be very, very less as compared to. So sorry, even if it is given to be very less, it does not mean we should take it to be translating body. That is what I'm saying. Did you get this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then do it once. I have told you how to do, and at least you get up to the answer, and after that I will just tell you whether it is right or not. Conservation of mechanical energy and force balance equation at the highest point. Normal will be equal to, normal will be 0, just 0. And centrifugal force will be equal to mg. Do once and get answer. We just attempted, and by that time, let me draw two more questions. Diagrams for two more questions.
Sir, done, sir.
Done.
Yes, sir.
Then you do the next question also. Means by that time you can draw the diagram for it.
Okay.
Instead of pure, it is pure.
So you already got this first one, right? Let us see the answers now. I will do it in this way. This mass is, let us say, mg into h is equal
M mg into 2r plus sir.
hello.
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Now we can hear you, sir.
So yes, can you see the screen also?
Yes, sir.
So this equation we are having mgh is equal to half into b time into r square omega square,
Sir,
and
plus
it is at
mg
the
into
highest,
2r.
plus mg into
2r.
2r. If I assume small r to be less, otherwise I should take, then I should take here also h minus r, if I consider r also into account, and here I should take r minus r. But if these are given as less only, then we are neglecting that, and we are just taking it as mgh, and here we are taking as r only, because r is given to be very less as compared to small capital R. Next, equation. I told you one more thing here. I think by that time this you were not able to hear me. That we can just imagine for a pure rolling body as if the mass is being replaced by b time. Effective mass becomes b time. Then we can just think as if it is a new mass, and equation is same as for translative motion, half n to m into v square, but just new mass is equal to beta times the old mass. Can you understand it in that way?
Sir, how we got mg into 2r? Mg into capital R.
From here to here distances.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Right or not?
Understood, sir. Initial and final we are taking all this.
Yes, right. Finally, it is at the
Yes,
highest
sir.
point. That only we are taking. Because I need it here. I'm not interested to write here. Why should I waste time writing here first and then going there? No, that is not required. Here only I will write.
Yes, sir.
Next, I will be getting m into v square by r and downwards mg as usual. M into v square by r, and the other side it is mg. M and m is cancelled. Then what is we are getting v as? V is equal to
Root arch.
v square is equal to arch, but v is also equal to small r omega. Understand? Angular velocity here. There are two angular velocities. Don't forget this. Don't lose sight of this. There are how many angular velocities here? This body rolls like this. Angular velocity omega. This angular velocity omega, right? This is one angular velocity. Other than that, we have angular velocity about the center. That is, let us say omega naught. That is different. These have relation. It can be written as r into omega naught if I want to take about O point. So this omega and this omega, don't confuse these two. And this is the one common thing where every student will commit mistake. This is that point, very important point. Just don't commit mistake here. Even I also sometimes commit mistake when I'm doing fast, and I can maybe commit this mistake sometimes. It happens. So don't forget this, that if I want to write m small r square omega square here, not capital R square omega square, first of all, if omega is the angular velocity about the center or about the instantaneous axis of rotation, and that angular velocity about the instantaneous center of rotation is not same as the angular velocity about the center of the path. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Then what do we get equation as? Then equation we are getting as m into g into h minus 2r is equal to half into beta m into
Small arch.
rg, right? Then m is cancelled. We are getting h as, what is wanted to find? H. H is coming out to be equal to 2 plus beta into r. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
That it will be 2 plus beta into r.
And here, which acts as instantaneous axis of rotation?
What?
The point which acts as instantaneous axis of rotation.
The point which is ICOR, the point which is at rest, this point here, that will make it big. This point right here, this will be acting as ICOR in this case.
Okay.
Because this point is on the ground. This path is like ground only, path is in rest only or not.
Yes, sir.
That point also must be at rest. That point also must be at rest in order for it to be in circular path. This is how they do it. They assume the normal to be acting just 0 at the highest point, and they get the answer like this. I think you can see answers in different books. They give it in this way. Though I don't agree with this, and according to me, this question is wrong here. The reason is this, that as it is going from here to here, then in between there will be some point where the friction will become insufficient and it will become sliding will start, and if sliding starts, then there will be loss of energy. So this question is a common wrong question. I don't know why it is mentioned in every other book and why they don't find out this mistake. but because it is likely to be asked in the examination and it is asked in the same way only mostly, so I am also doing by the normal way, but there is a mistake in this because in this part of the track there are some losses possible. Reason? Before normal becomes zero, before normal even becomes zero, before that this body will develop tendency to slide. Friction will become insufficient, and as a result the pure rolling condition will cease, and as a result there will be some losses. As a result, the value which we have found, the value of height which we found, that will not be sufficient to make it go up to that. This height will become slightly insufficient, so our height should be really more than that in order for it to be really able to reach up to the highest point. How much more is a complicated thing to do, because we are really, it is difficult to find out the work done by friction, especially in the cases when rolling is also involved, and moreover we have not even found out that point when the sliding just starts. In fact, I can ask you other question here in order for you to understand that why the sliding starts before that only. I can ask you to find out friction as a function of, I can ask you to find out the friction as a function of some angle covered by it. That what is the friction in different places. And if you are able to find out that friction, then you will be able to put that friction as mu into n, and you will be understanding where the sliding will just start. Normal also you have to find out, and friction also you have to find out as a function of theta. Can you do that? Let it be the second question for tomorrow. You reminded me, because today we have less time left, so I will not discuss it today. Today I will just, these questions which but yes, I am likely to forget it because I think I have discussed it. So you only have to remind me that what part is remaining in this. What I want to ask here now, I want to ask at what angle the sliding will just start. The sliding will just start. If it is dropped from what height? If it is dropped from that height, which we thought to be sufficient for it to attain, for it to attain the maximum height in this, or for it to execute in this circular path, which we thought to be sufficient by ignoring the friction, work done by friction, or by ignoring that pure rolling stops. If we ignore that, then we are getting this. If we don't ignore that, then you tell for the same height, at what angle it will be just about to slide. Let us find out that angle. Then we will be understanding it even better tomorrow. But okay, it is for tomorrow. Today, this question here, this force is applied here, and this M mass is here, and this is something, maybe what it is. Take something, maybe ICM is given as eta into mr square, that is given to you. This is also given along with this data which I have given here. Along with that, it is given ICM is equal to eta into mr square, and other than that, uniform things. These are all uniform things. So when we apply the force on the planks, what kind of, first of all, and here it is frictionless pulley. Otherwise, I will have to consider its moment of inertia also.
Yes, sir.
This is frictionless pulley. So how many questions we have maximum possible? Maximum possible, it is only 3 questions for upper one and 1 equation for the 1 equation or 2 equations for the lower one. Maximum difficulty is 5 equation difficulty, but those 5s can be minimized. Those 5 equations can be minimized if I want to just find out the acceleration. Then I may try to do in such a way so that I may not have to take the internal friction, internal normal. If I don't have to take internal friction and internal normal, then how many equations will be eliminated? 2 unknowns will be not required here. So try to do that. I can maybe discuss tomorrow only.
Sir, sir, that no.
What?
In material, same question, sir.
It is same question, exactly same.
Yes, sir. In icon materials.
Then very nice, very nice. Then you can do from there also, and you can see what wording they have. You can do from there only. This is another question where here I have. Sphere is having a pure rolling motion on the ground with angular speed omega. Find the force exerted by part A on part B of the uniform solid sphere of radius r and mass m. So it is rolling with angular velocity omega. Why is there force? Reason for the force. Understand that this part, shaded part here, this part's center of mass will be moving in a circular path or not?
Yes, sir.
It means it has some centripetal acceleration.
Yes, sir.
And the forces acting on it, are, what is the force acting on it other than by gravity? Mg by 2, we can say half the mass, and other than that, normal. And other than that, the centripetal acceleration. So what equation I can write? I can write mg by 2 minus n is equal to m into
by 2
m by 2
By
into centripetal acceleration. What is the centripetal acceleration? Centripetal acceleration will be, if omega is given to us, omega square into RCM. RCM will be at a distance of 3r
3r
by
by
8
8.
for the solid hemisphere. So this is the centripetal acceleration. Can I get the normal here or not? What they have asked, force exerted by part A on part B. That is nothing but the normal reaction force.
Yes, sir. We can.
Because mg is not acting from the here, mg is acting from the earth. So only force which it can apply is normal only.
normal
Or
only.
whether you call it normal or you call it tension, that is a different issue. It is your choice. It doesn't even matter. But here it will be like pushing force, so I'm calling it as normal. But see, we can get the answer, can we or not? We can get that value. This also you do now, complete it, and if something is not understood in this, then I will discuss tomorrow. So tomorrow I will start, continue from here. Now we can end it. Is it okay?
Sir, in previous question it is beta by 2
In previous question it is?
upon.
This one f by m plus 3.
This is not
Plus
beta
beta
here.
by 2.
Okay, let me correct it then. I think you're right. It is 2 also here, no? Right. So it is, yes. Beta by 2. 2 plus beta by 2 into r, right only. Next, okay, then you do these questions, and tomorrow I can take some other questions I can take. Let me draw at least a few of those which I want to take tomorrow. I'm planning to take tomorrow. One question I'm planning to take is this one. If you want, you can attempt yourself also somewhat. This is a question for tomorrow. We have discussed such question before, but this time question is different. Scenario is same, but question is different. I asked last time, I think, what is the tension? But now my question is, when this mass falls from height h, then what is the velocity obtained by it, or what is the kinetic energy obtained by it as it falls through? What is angular velocity? Sorry, what is the angular velocity? Find omega when it falls by height h. When m falls through height h, starting from rest. Radius is given as r, m is given, ICM is also given. Given ICM is equal to eta mr square. So I think you can do it. You can find out omega by conservation of mechanical energy. You can try it yourself also. Okay, so I'm ending it now. Is it enough? Can we end it?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.